Okay, so we will basically discuss about how to expose a Apex class as a REST source. Okay, so as of now we have discussed only about a standard REST APIs, right? Whether it may be a creating account or it may be a, fetching the account, deleting the account, whatever it may be. Correct.
Yes.
So basically today we will dig into more about how to create our own web service. Let's say we want some of the custom business logic where we can't deal with the their standard REST basis web service. So in that case, definitely we have to go it for a our own web service. Correct.
Yes.
So this concept we will call it as exposing Apex class as a RESTful web services. Okay, so if you come into the picture, so there will be a set of REST methods basically. So the methods are nothing but like post, get. You already know about, right? Post, get, like a patch method, delete method. Okay, so these are the basic methods. So where we are going to discuss about in brief. Okay, so let me open the thing. uh, okay, so you are already know about Apex class, how to write Apex class. So we have well done with all customized coding, so whatever it may be. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to explain how to expose the classes RESTful web services. Okay, so I will write a simple business logic. Okay, so business logic is same, right? Within Apex code you can do whatever you want. Correct. So I'm
Mm.
explaining how to expose that class, how to send a request and how to receive a request, and these kind of stuffs. Okay. Okay, so post a patch method. Okay, so put delete, post, and get method. Correct. So we already know about some of the methods. Let's say post, get, we know. Even though patch I think we didn't know, and delete we know already, right? So
Mm.
a post is nothing but if you want to create a record. Okay, so it is basically we are using for creating a record. Okay, so post will come into the picture. Okay, so get, it will basically come into the picture where if you want to get the data. Okay, so clear.
Yes.
Okay, so patch will come into the picture only for updating the records. Okay, so delete name is says like it is for a delete. Okay, so put is it is nothing but alternative to post, where in post we can create a record. So put is nothing but it is recently developed, it is create and update. Okay, so these are the four methods, so we are going to expose it in the today's class. Okay, fine. Okay, so I will directly log into the my dev arc, so where I have created some class as a RESTful web service. Okay, so let me go over here. You can able to see, right?
Yeah.
Okay, uh, code builder. Okay, so there will be a lot of consideration while writing a Apex class as a REST resource. One thing is nothing but a class should be a global class. Correct. Why? Because peoples are accessing that particular things from the outside of the world. Correct. So because this is a REST API, so we will give it to some third party guys. Correct. So
Yes.
that because of that reason, so the class should be a global. It is one consideration. Okay, so another consideration is nothing but if you want to expose classes to web service, then you have to use this annotation. Okay, at rest resource. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so then next within that brace, so we have to add a URL mapping. So this will become a endpoint. Okay, so clear, right?
Yeah.
Any questions as of now? So this will
No.
become a URL. You can give any URL, but it should be a unique within your organization. Let's say now I have given a canvas code builder. Okay, so in another class, so I can't able to give the same like canvas code builder. Okay, so what it will happen if you give same thing? So it will throw a error. Okay, so want me to show that? Okay, so let me say. Okay, so we already having a RESTful endpoint, so called Canvas Code Builder, right? So let me create another thing, and let's say I want to save me, so it will throw error. Okay, so okay, let me change the to clear. So it should be a unique throughout your organization. Okay, so you can give it any URL, not only a single. Okay, so you can give it like this API slash some blah blah slash whatever you would like to give a URL. So you can give that particular URL. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so next thing is nothing but a star. Okay, so star will come to picture. Okay, so we will discuss about the star bit later. Okay, so now we will come to the point. So I want to expose a method as a post request. Okay, so we already told post is for, okay, so it's
Setting.
a creating,
Yeah.
correct? So it is for a creating, post is for a creating. Okay, basically, so here we are, this is another constraint where we have to use a method as a global static.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say here you can give any your name. Okay, so method name, you know, right? Method name,
Yeah.
and you can pass the parameter. Okay, so what and all parameter you like to accept from the that particular request. Clear?
Okay. Yeah.
Clear, right? So within this code, you write your own custom logic. Okay, so you write whatever it may be. So currently I wrote a code to create a one quote. Okay, so and bounding to that particular opportunity where a user is trying to send that both quote ID, quote number, some blah blah parameters. Okay, so I am going to create it into that particular quote. Okay,
Okay.
once quote has been created, so you can send a response back to a particular caller. Okay, so response, it may be any kind of the like a data type, either a string, or it may be a double value, or it may be a boolean, or it may be a class. Okay, so you can send it a class object also. Okay, clear? Any question?
Yeah.
So for time being, I'm sending a JSON structured string. It's a string, right? Instead of sending class, okay, so you can send a string also. So now what I'm sending is, I'm sending a JSON structured string. This is a JSON, right? I'm sending status is a success, error code 200. Okay, this is I'm sending as a success. Okay, so this is about a how to expose a class as a like RESTful web services. Any questions as of now?
No, that's fine.
Are you getting my points? Are you following, Shaker? Any questions? Shaker, you there in the line?
Yeah, there.
Any
So
questions?
sorry, I have muted. Yeah. The status are going. The status codes are going to be universal, right? So
Which
why
status code?
these error codes?
Yeah, this is for just time being. I have sent this message. Okay, don't consider this
Okay.
message. You can send your own
Okay.
custom messages. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so
Okay.
don't. This is my custom message. This is another string, right? You can send it my
Yeah.
name also. That doesn't make
Okay.
any sense.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so okay. So that status code, it will give by default by HTTP request itself. This is nothing but my custom messages I am sending as a string. This part of just for my purpose I have used it. Okay, so this is
Okay.
not a HTTP error code. Okay, so if you don't want
Okay.
to like
Okay.
mismatch
Yeah.
this, I can remove that. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
So this is
Nice.
just dummy data. I'm going to send it. Okay, don't worry,
Mhm.
bother about that. Okay, clear?
Yeah. Good.
Okay, so now I need to trigger it from the some client. So this is our server side code, right? So
Yeah.
I make sure I have to check whether these particular things are working fine or not. Okay, so how to call a REST web service from the third party? Any guy. So there will be one constraint. What is that constraint? Shekhar, can you explain me?
No, I didn't get it.
Yeah, because if anyone wants to access a REST API from the outside of the Salesforce, make sure we
Hmm?
need one more authentication type of things, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. We need.
can you possible to explain that steps how
I
to get
think
that?
session ID and those kind of stuff.
Yeah, correct. So make sure we need to get the authentication token. Okay, so by hitting the auth endpoint. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so then later once you get the authentication token, same like as usual how we call that particular other API, same thing we can call the this API also. Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so now our URL is nothing but a canvas builder, code
Mm-hmm.
builder. Okay, so then
Okay.
before that we have to suffix prefix with this particular instance URL. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
after that so you have to suffix with services apex rest.
Okay.
Okay, so now the complete URL is nothing but, okay, so your instance URL. Okay, so plus this guy. Okay, so plus is nothing but append. Okay, so don't get confused. Then this is the thing. Clear?
Okay.
Any doubt? So
Mm-hmm.
the URL looks like of the type like this. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so this would be a endpoint URL. Okay, this is nothing but
Okay.
instance URL. So this is the services Apex REST. This is common for all the things. This is nothing but an instance URL what you have provided over here. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Any question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me open our as usual Java application. Okay, guys, are you bored with Java application? Keep on saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
No.
or else I have to go for a kitchen API or REST endpoint where there also I can hit the services.
I think Java is going to be the best example for me.
Yeah, because everyone here they will use a Java or they will use .NET kind of application, right? So
Yeah.
that's why I'm going to explore more on that. Okay, so okay, so basically here I have written a set of codes. Okay, so to create a particular code name, let's say this is our opportunity ID. Okay, so this is our
Mm-hmm.
opportunity ID, right?
Yeah.
So okay, so this is our opportunity ID. Okay, so where I am creating a code as a demo REST API code. Okay, so you can send any number of parameter. Okay, so currently we are expecting this number of parameter, right? How many? One,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay,
Yeah.
so make sure we have to pass these parameters. Okay, so if you are not passing that many parameters, you can't pass more than that. Okay, so let's assume here 7 parameter is there, means you can't pass 8 parameters over here. Okay, so whereas you can pass a few parameters so that it will assign remaining things as a null. Okay,
Okay.
fine, clear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a endpoint, you can able to see, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so instance URL service apex rest code builder and that particular thing. So I'm creating a actually a code. Okay,
That endpoint will be given by Salesforce guys, Suresh.
see, this is a
But,
common
yeah.
endpoint. Okay, so here you are mentioning your own endpoint. This is a like customized endpoint. So that's what
Yeah,
here we
yeah,
are
yeah.
mapping it up, URL mapping. Okay, so this is nothing but an instance URL. This is nothing
Mm,
but this is the instance, right?
mm,
Okay, so a services bar Apex REST is a common for all the your customized REST API. Whereas this is written by you. You can make it anything. Canvas code builder is there. You can put Canvas code builder XYZ also. Make sure here also you have to specify XYZ. Okay. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me hit the these services. You should create a demo REST API code. Okay, so make sure just check over here. So nothing is there. Okay, so nothing is there, only one code is there, so this is not with that particular name. Okay, so let me run my script. Okay, so this is a common. I am passing a post method. Okay, so passing instance URL. Okay, I am setting a auth code over here. Okay, I am setting the body as JSON. Okay, fine.
Yeah, fine.
Okay, so let me run my script. Proceed. Okay, so it is saying done. Okay, so it is created. Okay, this is nothing but a response. Okay, so which I am sending it over here. Correct? So it is a success or it is a failure. You will check about error code. 200, right? Okay. This is the response. We had got it over here. Clear?
Okay. Okay.
Got it, right?
Yes. Can you go back to the Java code? Java code.
Okay, so here we are getting a post. Okay, so post get response body as a string, so it will print the your response. Okay, so later you can use this response and you can do any kind of operations in the client side application. Okay,
Suresh, can't we send any session ID something like that?
where
See here in the header, right? In the header, you are sending access token.
correct?
This access token is nothing but the connected app which you have created, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, access token is not a connected app. Okay, so access token is required if someone wants to connect with the Salesforce. Okay,
Yes.
so if
Yes.
anyone wants to connect with the Salesforce by using REST API, okay,
Mm-hmm.
so make sure to maintaining the session between two system, like for authentication purpose from the Salesforce as well as any other third party system. Make sure we have to send access token. Okay.
One more question, Suresh, here at this time. So access token will get refreshed or it will be static?
So it will be dynamic. Okay, so it will depends on user to user. So now I have logged in with my user credential, right? So it is a like dynamically generation. We can't hard code that particular access token and we can't use. Okay, so if you take this particular access token, okay, so keep this access token with you. Okay, so and just run the same thing tomorrow and you just cross check with that access token, so it will be not same. Okay, and also you can check with these particular instance itself. If you open instance, now it got a API 1, right? So if you log out and log in, it may not get a same instance, may will get some other instance also. Correct? Correct? Got it?
More not frequently. More not frequently,
Sorry.
right? No, it's not a frequent thing, right? So Salesforce is
Yeah,
not
that's
going to
what
update over here.
that's what I'm talking. This is installed in cloud, so whichever machine is free, then in that case, so it is giving an instance for for us. Either it is a AP1 or it may be there's a lot of instances is there. Okay, so access token is a random number. Okay, so it is basically having a two things. Okay, so one is nothing but consumer key as well as this is a consumer secret. Okay, so this is basically encoded with the hash 64 based algorithm. Okay, so it is a dynamic actually, so no need of no need of going in depth about this access token, how it will generate that and all. It is not really required. Okay, so make sure it is not a static. Okay, so it is dynamically generated and it is varies for user to user. Okay, make sure it
Okay.
is keeping quiet. Okay, so one time you can't access get the access token, store it somewhere, and you can't do that particular steps over here. Okay, you should be, you have to get it by runtime and you have to make a call and you can make your work as well. That's it. Clear? Any more question? Okay, so we'll
No,
go, we'll go and check the particular opportunity. Okay, so opportunity has been created. Okay, fine.
yes.
Okay, so within the class, okay, so you can write your own business logic. So I'm not going to explain any business logic. You can write your own business logic. Let's say send a email, okay, send a email with attachment or delete a quote or whatever it may be, blah 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 stuff. So it is nothing but a simple, Apex class as a Apex method. So you can write your own, business logic where we can, trigger that particular event. Correct?
Yes, yes. Suresh, like if we want to hit this particular endpoint URL without any authentication, can't we do that?
No.
Can we do that? Okay.
It is not possible. So that's what I explained earlier. So if anyone wants to communicate with the Salesforce by using a REST API, okay, make
Okay.
sure he has to pass a authentication OAuth2.
For Salesforce.
Yeah, for Salesforce. Okay, so now OAuth2 is a standard authentication. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
many companies are using. Let's say Salesforce is using, Facebook is using, Twitter is using, LinkedIn is using. Even you can also use that. That is nothing but a protocol. Okay, so where it will generate a one random key. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we have to use that key in a client side. Okay, so add that particular same key, okay, encrypted key, it will be present in the server side also. Okay, so once you are calling, what you are doing, so you are getting the key from particular server only, right? And
Yeah.
you are sending that same key back to the that particular server only, right? This is, authentication mechanism where it will check for whether that both keys are matching or not. That's it.
And Suresh, as you mentioned, like, can you go back to the Java code?
Yeah.
So here you have used the same mechanism, right? In the other classes, you have used that secret key ID, which is from the connected app.
Correct.
So you're using the same thing for authentication, right?
Yeah, this is same for all. So see how to get a authentication token is nothing but as usual. Hit your,
Okay.
configure your, client ID, consumer secret, okay, your login
Yeah.
name, okay, so password and instance URL, hit that OAuth endpoint. Okay, so
Okay.
get the access token, then pass it over here. The same for all, everything. Access token
Okay.
and getting instance URL is same for all. So here only thing
Mm-hmm.
you have to concentrate is nothing but only the endpoint will be your own endpoint, how you are defining in your, Apex REST class. Okay,
Yeah.
so here you make sure you need to
Yeah.
append
Yeah.
the services slash Apex REST. Okay, fine,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
clear. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So whereas in REST we are using, auth token, access token for authentication, whereas in SOAP call, basically we are using session ID, I believe. Okay, clear.
Okay.
In
Okay.
the SOAP call, okay, so we have to make sure there's a two kind of web service, right? One is SOAP and one is REST. Now we are dealing with REST. In REST, how we are making authentication by using access token. Whereas if you move into the next SOAP web services, there you are going to make authentication by using session ID.
Apart from the OAuth, like what are the available?
Salesforce, it is supporting only SOAP and, auth and single sign-on, only three.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
See, this is nothing but authentication. How you are handling in your side. This is nothing. No one is telling. Okay, you use this authentication. You use this authentication. It's not like that. Okay.
Okay.
So let's say I am developing an application. Okay. So you two guys has to log into that particular things. Okay. So make sure someone else is shouldn't able to log into that particular application, right? So I have to
Mm-hmm.
make authentication means what only that particular guy needs to log in into the my site. How I can make sure? So I can give some token for you. Let's say you put 1 2 3 4 5 by login. So that I will
Mm-hmm.
come to know you two guys only log in into the my application, right? If someone put XYZ or 1 2 3, then it won't allow to log in. Okay, that is how about it is checking a authentication. Okay, so that is a one more level other than that, hitting, username and password. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe someone can crack your username and password. Okay, so it is very easy. So you can get it from browser history or a string, query string, whatever it may be. But these
Yeah.
access tokens are it is generated by runtime. Okay, so
Okay.
no one can hack that particular access token. That is, they're highly like taking into the security level mode. It is not a double step security.
Okay.
Correct. So we can directly authenticate by using username and password, right? Why again one more authentication authorization is really required? It's not really required
Okay.
to maintain a secure, more secured. Okay, so they are going basically for oath, or it may be any kind of authentication, not only oath. Single sign-on is there. Okay, SMAL authentication is there. So there will be different lot many kinds of things are there. But Salesforce we are using only two kinds. Okay, one is nothing but a oath authentication. It's basically meant for REST web services, and the second thing is nothing but a single sign-on. Okay, a single sign-on is another concept where user can log into the multiple sites. Let's say if you log in into the Gmail, so you can open YouTube without login, right? You can open
Yeah.
Google Circle or whatever it may be. Orkut has been banned, is down, right? So
Yeah.
that is how single sign-on will work. Let's say I logged into the my Salesforce application. Okay, so we are having another legacy application. Let's say some website. Okay, why I have to go to that particular login page, and why I have to hit that? So just put that URL so that it will auto login. That is nothing but a single sign-on concept.
Okay.
Okay, so this is all about oath and single sign-on. Okay, any other question?
No.
Okay, so clear, right? Shekhar and Chandu, any questions? Please raise your hand.
Oh yeah, sure.
I don't.
Okay, fine, that's good. Okay, so now I will ask one question. So, okay, let's say we are having only one HTTP post method. Okay, so here we have mentioned a method as a post, right? So it's a post method, so it will come to know. Let's say I am having a two method with the same name, different names. Correct. Now we are having only one method, so that we didn't specify any method name over here. If you closely observe, correct.
Mhm.
Let's say if you are having two methods, okay, two post method, so in that case which one will call,
I
correct?
think based upon your parameters, it is going to.
Based upon parameters, let's say suppose I am having the same kind of parameters. Okay, okay, let's say here I am having these many parameters, right? So this also I am having these many parameters. Let's say I am mentioning it as a create code one. Okay, so based on parameters, how it will call. Because let's say I'm having same parameter. Let's say we are having three parameters. Here also we are having three parameters. So in that case, you don't, right?
Yes.
Yeah, do we need to call the method name as well? Can we
Yes,
do that?
exactly. Yeah. So in that case, already using elsewhere in this class. I'm not sure why. Compile error. HTTP post already used elsewhere in this class at line 26.
At 25, we have another question.
Okay, I think it is not allowing in the single application, I believe. Okay, so let me check. Okay, so the timing will be. So we can call this particular with the method name also. Let's say create code, right? So let me say append the create code over here. Okay, so save the data. Okay, so it is saying success, correct? So
Yeah.
that's why we are mentioning star it in the
Yeah.
thing. Okay, so it's created, right? That's the reason why we are appending star over here. So you can specify method name also. Okay. So if you are not specifying that method name, then you need to get that button.
Okay.
Okay. Here we can't write it one more method. Okay, we can't write. Okay, so we already tried. So if you want to write another method, okay, so then probably you have to go and expose it to the some other classes. And that's what it means for. Okay, fine.
Mm.
Questions? Any question?
No, sir.
Okay, so this is how we are getting the response. Okay, so now I have passed the response as a string. This is simple string. Okay, where here you can pass the response as a particular Java object also. Correct?
Yeah.
You know how to pass a Java object? Create one class, inner class over here. Let's say some response class. Pass the parameter over here, create that object and set this data to that particular object. Return that thing over here. Okay. So same thing we will receive over here also. Got it?
Okay. So
Clear,
why
right?
we might need to create a Java object as a parameter?
See,
Is
there's a
there any
depends on
specific?
up to you how you want to send a response back to that particular client application. You can send it as a object, or you can send it as a JSON string, or you can send it as a Boolean flag, whatever it may be. It is up to you. Okay,
Okay.
clear?
Yeah.
Any question?
For example, say here I have created a wrapper class, the inner class.
Okay,
So let's say it's a account class. Okay, now the
okay,
account class which has one boolean value and one subject type of account.
correct.
Okay, I have a inner class. So if I am going to pass a parameters to as an object, so what could be the in the client application is going to say?
So client
How?
application, so it will come as a JSON. Let's say you pass as a name. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
then it is going to come as a name, JSON string, where here we are converting that particular thing into JSON object, right? So then it
Yeah.
will automatically convert into a JSON.
Okay, that means rather than sending as a parameter, they're going to send it to response as a JSON, right?
JSON, yeah, that's up to you. If you send back as an object, then it will internally you can convert into a JSON also.
So,
Okay,
uh,
so you can directly send a string. JSON is nothing but a string, right?
ye-
So better you can send it a string also. That is up to how you implement that particular thing. It's up to you.
okay,
You can send it a wrapper class or it may be any JSON string.
yeah, can you go back to the Java code? So here, like there are here we are sending two parameters. So one is course name and one is opportunity, right?
Yeah,
So the code is a string like where we have create these kind of things, right? So for example, say so for example, as we are giving some REST services, we are explaining some REST URLs to some third parties. We need to explain them
yeah.
how the need to hit our servers, right? So how they're
Yeah, there's you need to explain about two things you have to say. One is nothing but how
mm-hmm.
to get the authentication token, okay, and second thing is nothing but what parameters you need to send. It should be parameter name should be same as that particular name
Okay.
of these things. Case matters, okay. So where here it should be same as this name, or else it will throw a error, okay. And third thing is nothing but so you have to explain about which endpoint you are going to hit.
So
These are the
yeah,
three
so
parameters
this case of
you
this
need
in
to
this case,
explain
like
over
we
here.
are passing the parameters. In the case of any Java object, we might need to
Yeah,
pass the response as a JSON or maybe JSON or XML, any kind of type, any kind of format, right? So
correct. So in that case here you can able to
no, no, no,
change it to
no,
that particular
that
thing.
is
Let's
not
say
my
let me
point.
check.
See, example say if you are going to build a parameter as a Java object, so it's not a similar way which we are need to pass the parameter, right? So we need to send the response in form of specific JSON,
Correct. See,
those kind of format. In the form only we need to
see. So
send
yeah,
it.
correct. So while sending that particular request parameters to that particular REST services, there will be two things. Either you can send it as like over this, it is internally converted into JSON string. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
while sending this request entity, right? So you can
Okay.
you have to send
So
it
that
as a
means it
JSON
is going
only.
to. So that means it is
Okay.
going to.
So or you can construct a, it is everything, yeah, everything it will taken care by HTTP. So it will internally convert
Mhm.
it. If you send it like a JSON, right? Now you are sending it as a JSON. But if you go to your method, so you are not receiving
Yeah.
JSON, you are receiving as a particular parameters, right here. Okay. So the RESTful web service has the capability to map that particular
But somewhere I have
fields
seen that
indicates
they
under
have
this
constructed
particular
some
parameters.
XML as a form of
Okay.
string. That string they are passing as a response.
See, response here that's what I told. So string XML means what? So you can by default here you can
No,
put
no, I
this
think
XML.
you
Okay, so let me tell
understand wrong
what
this. While
what will
sending the
happen over
request to
here.
the, for example, say here you have created resource, right? That is a create code. It's a RESTful resource where we need to send a request to this particular resource.
Correct, correct. Yeah,
Okay, to perform some operation. In order to send our request to this particular
yeah.
endpoint URL, the request has to be on which format? As in this, as yeah, no, yeah. My question is not completed.
Request has to
So
be either
as
a
here
JSON
in this
or it may
case,
be XML.
we this method has these parameters. Simply you have created one string and you are converting that thing into a JSON. That means yeah. Okay, that means everything is
I'm
going to
not
take care of the
converting
system.
HTTP. It will
But
take
some
care and it will
in
map
some
those
code,
fields.
the sample code and some application which I have seen, in
RESTX.
that if this particular endpoint URL is going to accept the request as XML, we need to construct one. The data which we need to send to this particular endpoint is going to be in the XML format. The XML format we are going to convert into a string, normal string or something like
Okay.
that. And in that string we are going to specify all the nodes and chain nodes,
Okay.
parent node. Like that we are going to construct and we are going to send that particular yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So what that case where we need to
Send it, right? Okay.
yes yes.
See, so XML is nothing but what? This is a string,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay. So let me say if
Yes.
you want to
Yeah.
send a XML, okay, XML is nothing but basically a string, correct? So if you want to send that particular XML, XML
Mm-hmm.
create a
Okay.
XML
Yeah.
here. XML is nothing but a string. Let me say a name,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
correct? So name. Okay. So name is nothing
Okay.
but
Okay.
Shaker,
Yeah.
correct? So it will end with the name, correct? So this is nothing but XML, right? XML
Right.
is
Right. So, yeah.
another. It's a kind of string.
Here is my
So it will
question.
open it
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. Here is my
Okay, so it will
yeah.
open
Here
it
is
in
my
any
question.
cell,
So
correct? So you
if
can
I'm
put
going
in
to
any kind of
expose
node. Send this
yeah one second.
parameter over here. That's it. Okay, send this parameter over here. So now it is sending a XML, right? So you're sending XML here.
Yes, right.
Make
So
sure
if I'm going to give my
you have to take
RESTful
that
resources to
XML
some other
and you have
client,
to pass
I
that
need to
XML.
tell them you need to pass request in this format only. For that time, I need to give some sample.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we have discussed regarding this. So this is nothing but a two-way communication.
Yes.
Okay. So what and all parameters see? Let's say you are going and buying some online items where we are going for online transaction, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So in the online transaction, what you are selecting, either it may be net banking, debit card, credit card, whatever it may be. Let's say I am selecting a credit card. Okay.
Yes.
So now what and all parameters? Let's say we'll take what is a credit type credit card. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
next it will ask for a card number, correct? So that is the second parameter. Third parameter it is asking for expiry date or whatever it may be. Okay. Fourth parameter is nothing but a name as like in your credit card. Fifth parameter is nothing but that
Yes.
some
Correct.
code will be there. Okay. So CSV some code is there. That these five parameters we need to send it from that particular online application to the
Yes.
banking application. Correct. So you guys has to decide what and all parameters you want. Okay, this is nothing but integration means it's a
Okay.
two-way communicate, right? So you are writing some code and you are giving to someone means how they will communicate. You have to say, I'm expecting these parameters with these particular parameter name. Okay, so that is how it will work. Let's say I am like
Okay.
bank is sending five
Okay.
parameters, you are sending four parameters means how the things will work. So it will say bad request or request is rejected, whatever it may be. That things it will be. So this is up to you. This implementation and so giving the solution is up to you how you are going to handle. You can pass it as a parameter, or if the client is saying why I should these many parameters, I am sending a single XML object means
Okay.
you send that XML object, XML string, take XML string over here and convert that particular XML into the split it over your particular data, and it's up to you how you are going to give a solution that particular end user. Okay, so make sure what you are going to exporting as a services, make sure you have to provide that particular thing. This is nothing but a API. So if you say I can show you some documentation where I have did this. Okay, so I have developed one application where I am exposing that particular thing to someone. Okay, so let me show you.
Okay.
Nothing but only interacting, exchanging the data.
No, I don't have.
Okay, so what data you want to exchange, that is up to you. Okay, what parameter you are going to send it through to that particular transaction, it is up to you. Okay, fine. Any question?
No, I don't have.
Fine, right?
Yeah.
Chandu, you are there?
Yeah, Suresh.
You have any questions?
Suresh, one thing is, let's say if one send a list of records.
Okay, so now we will move into the next thing called HTTP GET. Okay.
Okay.
Right?
Suresh, one thing want to send a
list records, right? So JSON will come as a list of JSON. Okay, so let me say you want to send it back as a list of account or list of whatever it may be. Okay, so while receiving this one, so it will be receiving as a list of JSON array. Okay, where we can put the particular for loop, and you can iterate over that particular for loop. Right, how the JSON will come as array is nothing but, so it will come with the square bracket. Okay. So yeah, list. You can come as a list, right? List means more than one occurrence. So JSON list of strings. Okay, so I already
list will come as
list will come as account object.
Client side, everything will convert automatically, right?
Okay.
The JSON format.
Say, let me say. Yeah, so everything it will be taken by HTTP itself. It is first body stream and put into your JSON. Okay, so JSON tokenizer. So if you pass that, so it will automatically convert it to a list is converted to a JSON. Okay, so let's say if you want to send it back a 3 record, so it will be something like this. Okay, so it will be quoted with the bracket. It indicates that, so it is coming as a list. Okay, this is an entire one single object. Okay, you got it. This is a single object JSON. Okay, so if you pass this particular thing, so it will come as a key value. There's a key is this one, value is this one, key value key. Okay, so value will be this particular thing. So it will become a list. Okay, so you have to iterate that list, right? You have to.
No, Suresh.
Okay, fine. So don't worry about that. I will show you how to iterate that JSON or whatever it will be in Apex class moving further. Okay. Shekhar, any questions? Still in confusion? Something like that? No, clear, right? Yeah. Okay, so now we will go back to the particular class into that get method. Okay, so get we already know. Basically, get we are going for getting the records, right? So this is a endpoint URL where get basically we need to pass a parameter as a query string, correct? So last time we have did the same thing. If you closely observe that our get method, so we have passed the account with account ID, right? So now show where I am. Okay, so this is a show query. So if you look into this, so here basically we have forwarded account with the account ID. This is a URL. So endpoint. So if you come into our endpoint, this is totally different, correct? Ours is a custom endpoint, correct? So in that case, so we need to pass some parameter over there. Parameter. So if you get means for which account you want to get the data of that particular account. So for that reason, so we need to send a particular parameter. Okay. Everything seems to be this one. Basically here we need a get method instead of post method. Okay. Everything same, calling wise everything is same. Okay, so previously we have used their standard methods. Okay, so here it is our method, so we are going to use it out. Okay, so get method. Okay, so make sure we have to use a get method. Okay, so naming things check code. Clear, right? You are getting my point, right? So now what we are going to do is nothing but, so I am hitting the this is parameter is not required over here. No. This is a get method, right? So we have to pass a value. Okay, so the value has, so we need to pass a account ID. So here we are expecting account ID. So basically we are passing the parameter as query string, correct? So this is about a query string, right? So we have to pass a parameter as a query string. Let me take any one of the account. I will take one account.
I know .NET.
Anybody knows Java over here?
No, this is Sunday. I don't have Norwegian. I mean, core Java is fine, but apart from that, I don't know.
Shekhar, what about you?
This is Sunday. I don't have Norwegian. I mean, core Java is fine, but apart from that, I don't know.
Okay, so let me hit these services. Okay, so I'm passing some parameter over here. Okay, so then I'm getting the response. Okay, so
yeah, that's okay.
Let me call this particular method. You are getting it right? You can able to grab it, right?
Yeah, that's okay.
Invalid URI it is saying. Okay, so I think
so that ID is created with parameter.
So let me check something went wrong over here.
So that ID is created with parameter.
Okay, so let me hit the same URL so that I can come to know what. Okay, so I believe you should not pass it.
Suresh, you were screening the page. Okay. Suresh, you were screening the page.
Yeah, give me a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so you should not put a quote. Okay, here. Okay, so you should not put a quote over here. So previously I have put a quote, right? double quote, so you should not put that quote. Okay, so here you can able to see that particular details over here. So whereas we are sending back the return type as what are the return back, so we are sending back as a account object. Okay, so here you are sending a wrapper class back, right? So what and all things we have selected, ID and name, correct? So this will come as a JSON over here. Okay, so name and ID back to the particular caller. So this is how about like post request it will work. Sorry, get request it will work. Clear? Any question?
No.
Any question? Okay, so delete is same like get. Okay, so but we make sure we have to use a delete.
Yeah.
Correct? So you guys want code, right? Okay, so let me say now it is a delete. I'm going to delete that particular thing. Okay, so in delete, so make sure we have to use a delete method, correct? So delete, we have to use delete method instead of get method. There is only one difference. Got it? Okay, for it also make sure we have to send the which account you need to delete. So it is also a query string. Okay, so based on this, it is going and deleting that particular thing over there. Okay, so let me hit out this account. Account is there currently. Okay, so let me run a script. Account is there, right? Okay, so I will run the delete API. Okay, so delete is done. Okay, so go and refresh the same page, then it should not
Yeah.
Clear? Any question? Nothing will be there. So make sure we have to add a HTTP delete so that this method it will act as a delete. The main purpose of delete is nothing but deleting the data, deleting the record, whatever it is. Okay. Okay. So another thing is nothing but put and no patch. Okay. So put is nothing but similar to post. Okay. Same the way we have to call is the same like a post request. Okay. So there make sure we have to use a put method, correct? Did you saw the put method over here? Okay. So for calling that put, make sure we have to use a put method. Okay, so instead of post method, okay, so where we are, so instead of a post method, so we need to make sure use a put method for creating a put. Put is basically mean for creating and updating. In some of the cases where we need to create the record as well as update the record, right? So in that scenario, so it will basically come into the picture where put method it will really help us to create as well as update that particular thing. So everything it will be same. Okay, so make sure we need to use a put instead of post. Okay, can you try this one?
Yeah.
Instead of post, just make it as a put. Okay, that's it. Other than that, everything is same.
How we can consider like the recording existing
As same as like same previously we have how we have used it. Same like post. Want me to run this one? Now this is become a put. Okay, so method should be a put. Okay, so we can pass the parameter over here.
Yeah.
Clear? Okay, so I haven't implemented any put method over here, so let me copy my post method and I will say like it is a HTTP put. Correct? So are you getting my point?
Exactly, yeah. We were following. I'm following.
Okay, so instead of post, it should be a put, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm calling the same method. Okay, so here make sure we have to change the method name. Why? Because already method one is there, right?
Mm.
Okay, so let me save the data. Okay, so now I am triggering my put method instead of post method. Put is basically meant for creating as well as updating,
Okay.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me hit the service. Okay, it is saying it is created. Okay, so we'll see what and all things have been created. Should create with a XML structured based code, right?
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is how put method will work basically. So okay, so clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so only the another remaining thing is nothing but a patch. Okay, so it is very similar to put or post, whatever it may be. Okay, so patch is only for updating the things. Okay, just try it out. Okay, so you just come back to me if you have any doubt. So you have previous code,
Sure.
right? So make sure in the patch, so make sure we have to put like this within that post method. So we are saying override patch, so then that, so it is going to update that particular record.
Okay.
Okay, pass two parameters, let's say account ID. Okay, so some account name. Okay, so create a put method. Okay, so then run the script so that there it should update that particular account ID, name or whatever it may be. Try it out, very simple. I'm giving task. Okay, fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that good or something you are not getting or something like that?
I think I need to practice.
So there will be
Then I will.
nothing much in this. Okay, so if you know about this, it should be a first constraint at resource. You can use any URL mapping. Okay, so this should be unique in your organization. Okay, so class
Mm-hmm.
should be a global or method, whatever you are using, it should be a global static.
Okay.
Okay, so if you want to use as a post method, make sure you have to append at HTTP post, or it may be a HTTP get, or it may be a HTTP delete, or it may be HTTP put, or it may be HTTP patch. Okay, so
Okay.
post
Yeah.
basically you have to go only when creating the record, get for retrieving the record, delete for deleting, put for both update and create, and patch for obviously update. Basically max of the people will go for post, get and put, only three. So I didn't see any delete or whatever it may be, put method as of now. Okay, so you can write
Okay.
your own logic over here. Here also this doesn't mean that in the put method, post method, you have to create the record or update the record, not like that. You can write any custom logic. Post is basically meant for create. Okay, so either you can write a create record or you can delete the record. That doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah.
I can say, okay Shekhar, please go through this all documents and come back like tomorrow, explain me. This is your wish, right? You can read the same document or you can read some other document also, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's how it will work. Okay, clear guys? Any questions?
Yeah. This is good. If you have any questions, then we'll come back to another.